takes on number 4 Alabama on Saturday. Here's a look at these teams to date. Alabama's offense has been absolutely terrific with Jalen Milroe under center, averaging nearly 50 points per game. Both teams, though, have rode a dominant defensive play en route to a sparkling 3-0 record, with Georgia in particular allowing just 6 points per game. That included a bout with Clemson, as we now welcome in Mike Calabrese to talk more about the top 25 matchup, or top 5, I should say, matchup on hand. Mike, every week we get your opinion on the game, but first we need to know the NCAA simulation. What did the video game spit out with this top 5 matchup?
College football 25 seems to like Alabama in this spot. The Crimson Tide winning 25-20, and it started with a really great first half for not only the Alabama defense, but also Jalen Milroe. They jumped out to a 15-0 lead at the break. The first half featured 2 takeaways by the Crimson Tide, a safety drilling Carson Beck in his own end zone, and a blocked field goal, so everything went right for Alabama. Both quarterbacks were battered in this one, 9 sacks in total, but Carson Beck stood and delivered in the second half, nearly spurring a second half rally. Ultimately, too many big plays from Milroe with his legs, and an incredible throw out of his own end zone in the fourth quarter, finding his tight end on a 3rd and long. That was the backbreaker. They end up going down, getting a field goal to seal the game. So Alabama wins it by 5 at home at Bryant-Denny, 25-20.
Kalen DeBoer getting his first opportunity in Tuscaloosa to really make a statement for the Tide. How do you feel in general for this game? If you have to handicap this one, what would you end up doing?
So over the years, I've really enjoyed in marquee matchups playing double results. So essentially, you're picking a team to lead at halftime and then to win the game outright. And in this one, if you take Alabama to lead at halftime, but Georgia to win the game, it pays out at north to 6-1. And a big reason for that, the reason why I like it, is that Georgia has been a slow starting team under Carson Beck for the past year and a half. 0 points in the first quarter against both Clemson and Kentucky this season. And when you look back at this trend, it extends all the way back into 2023, when they struggled in the first half against South Carolina, Auburn, Mizzou, even Alabama in the SEC title game. And the common thread is Beck and offensive coordinator Mike Bobo. He's having issues getting a feel for the game early. They go a little too conservative for my taste. That's why I like Bama to grab the first half lead. But then Georgia pours it on in the second half, and it's usually when their defense makes adjustments at the halftime break and plays better in the final 30 minutes. Also, with an extra week to prepare, Alabama's Kalen DeBoer, he's a savant. He proved it at Washington in all of the big games last season. I think he's going to have an incredible script for the first 15 to 20 plays of this game. So I see Alabama grabbing that early lead, and at north of 6-1, I'm happy to roll the dice.
Yeah, it's such a unique approach for this one, and it kind of makes sense. It feels like that line has moved a lot in favor of Alabama. They have looked great. Milroe, in particular, has been phenomenal under center, and I think we kind of expected under DeBoer for him to kind of take off this season. So, you know, it's a very interesting approach. Hopefully for my Jalen Milroe ticket, the Bama can hold on in particular. But again, you know, this is a top 5 matchup where anything can go. So a double result is definitely, you know, a smart way to attack this one. I can't let you go, though, without getting an actual best bet in the G5 land. Of course, you're over on BBOC live every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Of course, you also have a podcast with Mike Iannello breaking down the G5 and all things that. Thursday Night Football. Not the NFL. We got a 7:30 matchup between Army and Temple, and you like a total this one. The Service Academy Army, they're up 12, and they're favored by 12.5, but you like a total here.
Yeah, I'm going to go over 46 in this one, and it starts with this little fact dating back to 2018. When a team draws a service academy with a limited prep window, that means they play on a Saturday and they turn around and have to play either on a Thursday or a Friday. It's happened 17 times since 2018. The over is cashed out 14 of those 17 times and cruised past the closing total by an average of 8.5 points per game. A big reason for that is that teams just struggle with the limited prep window to get the run fits down, to figure out all the different wrinkles of the triple option, and to really drill out of their players to that aggressiveness that generally, you know, a lot of their pass rushers and edge rushers go to the football, create havoc. Well, the thing about it is, if you are not disciplined and if you are out of a lane or out of, you know, not playing with proper leverage, all of a sudden a 3 or 4 yard play can be a 60-yard rushing touchdown. And we've seen it with Army this season. They are running like a Swiss watch. This offense is absolutely humming, and it's up against a defense in Temple that has really struggled to stop the run. They're bottom 10 across the board in just about every meaningful run defense metric. And Army is second nationally in rushing in the entire country with 356 yards on the ground per game. They're fourth in success rate, third in rushing success, sixth in 3-and-outs. And that's been key because when you see a service academy struggle, they generally get off the field quickly. They leave their defense out to dry with extra possessions that they have to deal with. And this Army team also has avoided any havoc, the fewest plays gaining 0 or negative yards in the entire country, and they're number 1 nationally in blown block rate. So when they get their hands on somebody, they're moving them, they're opening holes for this running game. And finally, it takes 2 to tango on a total, as I like to say. We're going over 46 here. The Temple Owls are an offense that absolutely needs to cook with a new quarterback. They got one. Evan Simon, 2 starts this year, 7 TDs, only 1 pick.
It'll be really interesting to see, the Service Academy. If you're struggling defending the run, imagine a triple option or any other options that you're going to get thrown at. It seems like Army is going to be able to move the ball as you expect. And a little pregame precursor to Cowboys, Giants, maybe a higher scoring game in particular here in this one, or at least hopefully there is. But Mike Calabrese, a reminder, you're on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on BBOC on our BBOC YouTube channel. But I'll be talking to you again most likely soon. So enjoy, my friend, and best of luck on Thursday.
Appreciate it, Charlie.